Alright guys, so today we have a shoe in hand that is something a bit older than what we usually go for. 2022 just ended, but this particular shoe was labeled by pretty much everyone in the sneaker community as sneaker of the year. And this year I feel like there was more of like a switch up between what people thought sneaker of the year was. In this particular case of 2021, everyone was pretty much unanimously picking this shoe. You probably already know what it is because you saw the title and the thumbnail. But my opinion on these might shock you. In hand today, what we have are the Manieres, but not the Jordan 4s. The Jordan 3s. So as always, we're going to go over the story and then we're going to take a look at the packaging. The story behind the shoe is actually pretty interesting. James Whitner, who is the creative director and founder of Maniere, basically when he was growing up, the Jordan 3 was his first Jordan silhouette that was bought by his mother, and that is why these were released in a women's size run, because his mother was the one that was able to get them for him, so he wanted to commemorate that by making this shoe for the women. But the interesting thing is that the sizing on these doesn't really cut off, so no matter how big your foot is, unless you're like a size 16, which I highly doubt, you'll be able to fit into the shoe. So let's take a quick look at the packaging of the shoe, because as usual, it's gonna be good. It is Maniere after all. So it comes in this sleeve, very similarly to the Maniere 4s, and I believe the other Manieres as well. But if we grab the actual shoe box, as you can see on the side, we got that label as usual. These are straight from Maniere, so legitimate shoe. It says size 9 men, size 10.5 women. On top you got the Flight and the Jumpman. And then when you open the actual lid of these, you actually have way more goodies on these than what we have on the Maniere 4s. So inside we got like this wrapping paper right here. And when you peel that back, you can find some spare white laces, as well as the Air Flight Nike Air tag right there with this little Maniere branding on it. As you can see, that actually comes on the shoe, but that's already been taken off because the shoe has already been wrapped a multitude of times. So let's jump into the shoe itself, shall we, without wasting any more time. These are the Maniere Jordan 3s. So here's the side profile of the shoe. You got a few different things going on. We got some gray panels, we got the typical white, and then we got this purple, violet, or color on the side, which is kind of similar to this color. As you can see right there, kind of a similar color. And that's pretty much the side profile. On the back we got the Nike Air, which most people do love. And then on the side, on the medial side, we got the same thing. The purple on the midsole, the cream outsole, and then the white and gray upper. On the front we have a Jumpman logo, as well as those butter laces, which is what I would describe the color on. And actually on the lace tips we have the words "work harder." It's going to be very hard to focus in, but there it is. We got work, and this one says harder, and the other one says work. So that's a pretty cool detail that I actually didn't even know about until I saw this shoe for the first time in hand yesterday, because I don't actually own the shoe. On the inside we have one of the most coveted details of the Maniere collabs, which is this quilted sock liner. I personally think this is an annoying touch on foot because it actually feels like slimy, which I don't really like, but nevertheless it is a very premium touch, and it is probably more comfortable than a regular one. and inside you got the A for Maniere. Let's take a quick look at the other shoe. There isn't much different. Same laces, which obviously can be swapped out. Same colorway. The only difference is that on the tongue you have an A instead of a Jumpman on this one. That's really the only difference right there, as you can see. Same deal with the fours, except, yeah, exact same deal on the fours. So yeah, same exact shoe, inside and out. And yeah, with that being said, let's jump into some of my thoughts about the shoe. So in terms of the release of this shoe, these came out last year, 2021, and I don't know the exact date, but I do know that especially in smaller sizes for smaller feet people, these were actually pretty easy to get. Like, these weren't all too difficult, just because the Maniere website usually does hand out a decent amount of W's to the people who go for the shoes. That is one big perk of Maniere specifically. So that was cool. And as I said, these won sneaker of the year. In my opinion, this is gonna trigger a lot of people, but I don't see what the hype is about on this shoe. That is my honest thoughts, and if I'm being honest with you and with myself, I have to point out that I think this is an insanely overhyped shoe. I mean, quality-wise, it is pretty good, just because it is this like premium looking leather, but like the colorway is just very plain, and I could easily mistake these as a regular Jordan 3. On top of that, the Jordan 3 is not really a silhouette that I like personally, so that is probably part of the reason why I wasn't really feeling these. In terms of sizing on them, we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but the sizing, apparently a lot of people say to go a half size down because they do fit roomy. I can't really speak to that because I'm not going to try these on. They're too small for me and they're not my shoe, so you're going to have to probably test that out as you will, but I think half size down should be fine for everyone. It's interesting because with these, you kind of have to go a half size out unless you want like an insanely snug fit. In my humble opinion, these are better. That's my honest thoughts. I think the fours are better. I think the silhouette's better, and I think the colorway is just better. It looks more like a collab. It honestly feels more premium as well. Like the quality feels a bit better, I want to say. And yeah, I know that's going to be a really unpopular opinion because a lot of people were saying that the fours can't hold the candle to the threes, but I personally think the fours are better. Like, if you saw someone walking in these and you didn't know they were a collab, you wouldn't think that they were anything except for like a GR Jordan 3. That's honestly what I think. Like, insert any Jordan 3 colorway in and you'll quickly notice that it's like the same thing. I don't know. A lot of people, like I said, are not going to like that. Also, on the back heel, I forgot to mention one detail. It's very hard to see because the back heel of the Jordan 3s is like molded on, but there is text on the back of both shoes. One of them says you have to get used to walking alone, and the other one says something like it's about who's around you, something like that. So that's a pretty cool detail. But again, this is poorly executed because you can't even see it. Whereas on the fours, you can clearly see the back tab, like it comes all the way off. So that's kind of better as well on the fours. I don't know, I feel like I'm hating on the shoe. I don't hate the shoe. It's a very clean shoe, and it is a good collab from like all the check boxes, like the materials are premium. I don't know, I just feel like the colorway isn't really doing it for me for whatever reason. Even when I saw these first leaked images, I was like, meh, and I'm still like, meh. I'm not really feeling them. But that's just me. You guys are entitled to your own opinion, which I'm sure will be different than mine. With that being said, I'm probably going to end it off here. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all later.